Hi, welcome back to the practical section of Pig. In this section, we will look at other useful commands that are available in Pig. In our previous video, we have seen how to load data into Pig using a pipe delimited format, and we have seen how to make use of something called group function, okay, for each function, and we have seen the illustrate and all this stuff. In this video we'll see how to write for each loop in Pig, okay, and then how to concatenate two fields and all these commands, and how to store output of your filer transformed output into HDFS. Okay. So first of all, we are loading the same pig input 3.txt, which is of pipe delimited format, with the following schema into a variable called a2. Okay, let's just look at the sample records. I'm just illustrate a2. Okay, this is our output, and later on we have done something like group a2 by a's. Okay, and then if we illustrate b2, we have got something like this: group and a bag of two tuples, because we have given two similar ages. Right now, how to use for each loop or for each keyword in Pig. Okay, let's see that. C2 equal to for each b2 generate group comma a2 dot maybe name comma a2 dot I would say ID. Okay, this is some sample records I'm just viewing. Okay, for that I'm just typing like for each b2 generate group comma, group is nothing but this thing. Okay, and I'm doing something like a2 dot name comma a2 dot ID. Okay, so let's see how this would give my output. Illustrate C2. See here, I've got group, and then a2 dot name. I've got two names which are ABC and CDE. I've got one bag of it, and then I've got another bag of A's, which is nothing but 10. Okay, sorry, ID I have given, right? A2 dot ID. So I'll have something like 111 and 222. If you wanted to look at the complete set of C2, I'll type in something like dump, right, C2. This would give me the complete set of output of C2 variable. Okay, my MapReduce has started. Now it's only done with 0%. Now it's done with 50%. Once it's 100% done, we should be able to see the complete records which are stored into C2 variable. Of course, I got my output. See here, my group a2 dot name and a2 dot ID. This is what we are looking for. Okay, we have grouped the things in such a way that we got group comma a2 dot name comma a2 dot ID. This is one set of operation that we can do as part of your Pig commands. Okay, now I just wanted to illustrate a2. Okay, I've just illustrated a2. Right now I wanted to find something like max of A's. What is the max of A's group that is present in my A2 field? Simply I will write something like D2 equal to mean, because I just wanted to show you that we can also do some aggregate operations using pig. Yeah, for each A2 generate, I would say generate max of A's. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Just generated max of A, which had thrown me some error like identifier. Okay, so just given a wrong syntax, like for each spelling is mistake. Okay, now I'll illustrate something like D2, or I'll dump D2, because we'll get only oh, there is some, we can apply our maximum operations. Just wondering why it had thrown me error. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing. I'll illustrate B2, because we have already joined these records. I'll just, for each B2, because max of, oh, okay, for even for A2 also we can do A2 dot A's. We can find out something like this. Okay, it is throwing me some error. Okay, fine. I'll just illustrate B2, then we'll see. Because see here, I've got only one record, right? For each, if I'm generating, I got why it is throwing some error. Okay, for each A2 generate max of A's, but for A2 I've got only one record, so out of which it is not able to generate maximum records. But for B2 I've got, for A's I've got a bag for A's, right? Okay, for maybe for C2 I have it, right? I have got a bag of at least ID. Right now I'll define my D2 in such a way that it finds me something like max of C2 dot ID. What is the maximum record out of this both? Yeah. Now if I illustrate D2, oops. Okay, because here I use, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, it worked. So earlier why it not worked is like simply I have given something like for each A2 generate C2 of ID, which is not matching. Okay, so for each C2 is this thing, for each C2 generate max of ID. When I have two records inside it, 777 and 888, I wanted to find the maximum out of it, which is nothing but my 888. So when I dump D2, right, you will be finding the maximum out of these two records, which is 777. Like I have given many IDs, right? So out of which for each tuple it will be generating the maximum record out of it. Because we are using for loop, for loops, what it does is out of that bag, what is the maximum value of ID, it generates that and gives us an output. Now that we are done with 50% of our MapReduce, yeah, let's see when it's done with total 100%. Great. See here, maybe out of 2 to 2, I mean when we have something like two records, right, 777 and 888, it will give me one record which is the maximum, which is 888. Similarly for other things as well, it will give me the maximum ID present in each tuple. Yeah, that's the use of your max operator. Like that you can also figure it out, find something like average of ID. So what it will do is it will find out the average of these two records and gives you the output. So there are many mathematical concatenation operators. Yeah, average of D2, and I can similarly use something like minimum of ID. I can use something like group comma minimum of ID. This is also can be done. See? So now that we have done some enough operations on your input, if you wanted to store the output in some output directory, how do you store that? Yeah. So for that you'll have to simply type something like store d2 into some user training pig output 1.txt. Yeah, I'll do that and I'll give a semicolon and press enter. It should store my output into user training pig output 1.txt. Even for this, MapReduce jobs will be running. Yeah, and finally my output will be stored in HDFS, this particular path. Yeah, so once this MapReduce is done by 100%, let's go to HDFS and see whether my output is stored perfectly or not. MapReduce is done by 50%. Let's wait for other 50% to complete. Yeah, my MapReduce is done by 100% and this is the success status I got. Now I can very well go and query my output file in user training path in HDFS. So this is my directory actually, pig output 1.txt. Inside it a file of part 000 will be stored. When I cat this particular file, when I cat this particular file, I'll get my output in a tab delimited format, because tab is the default delimiter in pig. So in order to store my output, I use something called store d2 into my output path. Yeah, so once you are done with your transformations, once you load your file into pig and do your transformations, and once you are done with your transformations, you can store your output into HDFS path. Yeah, that's it for this video. In our next video, we'll look at different ways of using pig storage. Thanks for watching this video and bye bye.